I'm pretty sure you all remember the Joker's pencil trick from The Dark Knight, but what about his other deadly techniques? Watch out, because there are lots of those to surprise you with. Hi, I'm Paul, and you're watching Ossa'm Movies, and it's time to check out the list of the Joker's most insane tricks ever. Parade balloons. Clowns, parades, balloons. Everything seems to be right where it should be, except the Joker wasn't invited. In Tim Burton's Batman movie, there was a scene where the clown prince of crime marched at the head of his own massive parade in the very heart of Gotham City on its 200th anniversary. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? Of course it was. The Joker was throwing money everywhere and attracting the locals to one of his deadliest weapons: giant balloons full of toxic gas. What a crazy way to kill civilians, you might say. Well, it's a typical Joker trick. Overcrowded places, poison gas, mass murder, you know, the usual. The balloons started releasing the lethal gas, but luckily Batman came to the rescue and stopped the massacre. For those of you who haven't watched the movie, I strongly recommend doing that. It's funny, it's scary, and of course, it's insane. This particular scene from Tim Burton's movie was deeply inspired by the comic books. In a comic from the 1980s titled Dreadful Birthday, Dear Joker, he lures a crowd to a death trap similar to the one in the movie. And in the 1942 comic Laugh Town Laugh, the Joker poisoned some of his victims using, yeah, you guessed it, balloons filled with laughing gas. Looks like the clown prince of crime really loves his deadly gases, because this wasn't the only time he used it to hurt people. Acid lapel flower. Have you ever wondered why the Joker wears that lapel flower? I mean, I know I have, but let me share with you what I've found out. It's kind of a James Bond style weapon which sprays acid, laughing gas, water, knockout gas, basically anything the Joker felt like using to repel anyone who was silly enough to get close to the psychopath. And the Joker experimented with a lot of ingredients inside the lapel flower. Yes, in the earlier comics his flower never included lethal ingredients. It was more inspired by old-fashioned comedies where a lapel flower is filled with water just to startle an opponent, but it was never meant to hurt anyone. But since Batman, the 1989 movie, and Batman the Animated Series in the 90s, this weapon became more and more dangerous. The Joker even managed to defeat Superman with his lapel flower. Yes, in the new Batman adventures, the Joker fought with Superman, who showed up well prepared for the battle in a lead suit, but that was worthless protection from the acid. The Joker squirted green gas from his lapel flower all over Superman's lead suit, completely destroying it. And after that, he used another crazy weapon called the Joy Buzzer to kick Superman's not all that super ass. So, lesson number one for you folks: if you're fighting with the Joker, stay away from his lapel flower. Or, it's probably better to say just stay away from the Joker. Electric Joy Buzzer. According to Joaquin Phoenix's latest film, the Joker tried his best to become a comedian, but he failed. And just like any comedian, the Joker had some tricks to make his audience laugh. In a weird way though. One being the classic handshake buzzer trick. Sounds innocent, right? Well, it would be if it wasn't the Joker. His version gave his victim a much more powerful shock. The thing I'm trying to describe is a device called a Joy Buzzer. And if you haven't heard of it, well, then you're not a Joker fan at all. It's this very iconic deadly weapon which he hides as a ring inside his palm. If you touch it, you'll instantly get a lethal electric shock that could stop your heartbeat or even grill you in a matter of seconds. And this is probably the Joker's most frequent and deadliest trick in his entire arsenal. Yeah, it started as a pretty simple technique in order to distract a policeman in a comic book from 1952 and ended up being in numerous Batman movies, TV shows, and animated series. Though for some reason Christopher Nolan decided not to use it in his Dark Knight film. Do you have any ideas why? And what about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker that's coming soon? Will we see the Joy Buzzer in it? Let us know in the comments below. Joker takes his face off. This is probably the most insane trick he's ever done, and it's unclear why he actually did it. Being honest, you can't actually call it a trick because he actually did it. In the storyline Faces of Death, the Joker allowed another villain named the Dollmaker to cut off his face. He then pinned it to a wall, and later he just wore it as a mask. He even flipped it around 180 degrees. What the hell is wrong with him? Who would ever do this thing? Okay, obviously the Joker isn't the most sane person, but still, where does he get these crazy ideas? According to the story, it was done in order to symbolize a rebirth of the Joker as a character and to show Batman that everything is a game and everybody plays in it wearing a mask. Well, if you think of the Joker as a dangerous psychotic man with no plan and no control over himself, then you've missed some things. Not having a plan most probably is a plan for the Joker. Some people call it genius theory, some say it's nonsense. But whether it's true or not, whether you believe in it or not, it will simply blow your mind. There are multiple Jokers. Can you imagine for a second that there were actually several different people playing one character? In the comic books, in movies, TV series, all the Jokers that we've ever seen were different people. Pretty cool theory, isn't it? And stylistically, it perfectly matches the Clown Prince of Crime as a character. In case it seems like gibberish to you, think about this. There were stories where different people portrayed the Joker. Yes, in Flashpoint, Joker was Martha Wayne. In Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, there was a gang of Jokers who robbed the bank. And multiple times, the Harley Quinn of hate just appeared in different locations simultaneously. Some of you might say that it's a fiction, and of course the Joker is fast, unexpected, and able to appear in different places playing tricks on people's minds. But here's my point. We all know that there's a theory spreading in the DC universe saying that the Joker simply can't die. But what if he actually has died? Multiple times. And every time, a new Joker just takes over from the previous one. And sometimes he even appears as two or more different people. If that's true, it would explain a lot of the craziness surrounding the Joker. It could even explain why there have been so many actors portraying him. My point is, if this theory is true, then this would be the Joker's most genius and of course craziest trick ever. Think about it next time you watch one of the Joker's movies. That's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, stay awesome.